Welcome to week 2 of Face Off Radio versus Television. I'm Keith Osso of 700 ESPN and 1080 ESPN.
I'm Ben Kaplan from the KXLY 4 TV Sports Department. What we do is we debate and argue, maybe not argue, but just talk about 4 different topics in the world of sports today. And we're going to start off with a big one. I don't think it's any surprise Prince Fielder's not coming to the Mariners.
No.
A surprise, though, I think he's going to Detroit. Just announced 9 years, $214 million. Keith, good deal. And did the Mariners miss out?
Well, not a surprise he's not going to Seattle. Kind of surprising he's going to where Cecil, his father, played, because those two don't really get along all that well. Kind of surprising he's going to go to the Tigers. It's a good deal for Detroit because they're set up to try to win a World Series. They've got great pitching. They have 2 really good starters. They've got Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder together, and then after the knee surgery for Victor Martinez next year, he'll be back in that lineup. If you can win a World Series, they say you make $200 million off merchandise sales alone. Sure. It will pay for that contract if they win a World Series. Now, if they don't, they got to eat $214 million over the next 9 years.
I think it's a good deal. I mean, I think he's very marketable. And if you're an American League team, he's much more, I would say, attractive to you for that kind of money. Because obviously his weight is an issue, 27, 28, a heavier guy, a lot like his dad. And down the road, a DH for sure. So if you go to an American League team for that length of time, 3 or 4, maybe 5 years at first base, you transition then to the DH. It makes a lot more sense for an American League team. I think the Mariners, though, unfortunately, they did miss out.
I think they missed out because they need a bat. However, they're not set up to win a World Series. In the next few years, it's a bigger risk for them to sign a $214 million contract because they're not set up the way the Tigers are set.
But Ichiro's obviously on the down part of his career. And you bring in Prince Fielder, who's a very marketable guy.
Sure.
Friendly, big. People like him, a great personality, deals with the media well, of what we've seen. And I think that at the age he's at, he'll still give you what you need as far as a productive bat for the years down the road. And he would also give you that marketable guy that would help a team like the Mariners who are really looking for one.
Seattle needs a bat really bad, and it really would have helped. It really would have helped generate some excitement into the program. But again, they're not set up to win a World Series right now. However, there's no one else available. So they're going to basically have to go to camp with what they have right now. Now, Super Bowl coming up in a couple of weeks. We now know who's going to play. It's the Patriots and the Giants. One of us last week said that was going to happen. Now, which, of course, it's all about the quarterback. Since Tebow's gone, it's all about Brady and Eli Manning. Ben, who do you like out of that matchup?
Well, I just want to also say about my Niners pick that it wasn't like they got blown out. I mean, these were about as 2 close of games as you could possibly have. But what was your question? I was going to.
You got Tom Brady and Eli Manning, and you go with the unorthodox guy.
I'm going with Eli right now. I guess if you had to have one quarterback to choose between the two, I'm going with Eli. Since they needed to start winning, the Giants did, back against the Jets toward the end of the regular season, Eli's thrown 12 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. He's been lights out. Who would you choose right now to win a playoff game for you? The way he's been when they've been in the playoffs on the road, he's been absolutely great, and they beat New England earlier this season and last time they faced them in the Super Bowl. I'm going with Eli.
I'm not sure I really even need to make an argument here. Tom Brady is the pick here. You pick Tom Brady. Not only is he stunning, and he's a good-looking man. He threw for the quietest 5,000 yards in the history of the planet this year. He's coming off a subpar game, which usually puts a chip on his shoulder. And when he has a chip on his shoulder, ask the Denver Broncos how that works out. 6 touchdowns against that pretty good defense.
It was subpar, but he just didn't look good. I don't know if his shoulder's hurt. I don't know exactly what it is. His throws deep downfield weren't good. Didn't have a lot on the ball when he was trying to fire it into his receivers. I just don't think he looked good. And New England, yes, they are in the Super Bowl this year, but they haven't necessarily been the most clutch team in the playoffs leading up to this season. They beat a Denver team, and they beat a Baltimore team offensively that had struggled. Defense, obviously, we know what the Ravens bring, but I wasn't very impressed by Baltimore heading in. I thought the Patriots would win that game. I'm a lot more impressed with what the Giants do and who they had to beat on the road to get into the Super Bowl than who the
Patriots,
Tom Brady leading Patriots did.
One major problem with your argument. Tom Brady always looks good.
Well, that's we can agree with that for sure.
The Washington State Cougar basketball team, we buried them last week after Ken Bone fell down. We figured it was a sign of things to come for the season. They get 2 big Pac-12 wins over the weekend, beating Cal and Stanford. Yeah,
and I think the reason you can point to is that the guys have really gotten used to the rotation, okay? To begin Pac-12 play, Abe Lodwick, Faisal Aiden, Mike Ladd were all coming back off of injuries. Okay, Ladd really hasn't proven to be much, but Lodwick's been a key cog, and we've seen what Faisal Aiden has done. They're looking pretty good right now. They're playing as about as hard of basketball I've ever seen them play under Ken Bone. I was there on Saturday, a great win. I'm eating crow because I thought they were done. I said that they were falling down just like Ken Bone, and they're looking pretty good. I'm not saying they're going to rebound to win the Pac-12. What I am saying, though, is I could see them rallying for a spot in the top half of the conference, which the way they came into this last weekend, I think we'd all be surprised with.
Big question mark. Can they do it on the road?
Right.
Another big question mark, is Faisal going to keep shooting like this? Because to this point in his career, he has not done it consistently. He did it in back-to-back games, and he has to continue to do that for this team to continue to win big games. Faisal kind of that X factor. You kind of almost put him on the bench and got him out of mind because he was shooting the ball so much, but when he's putting up 30, all of a sudden you're winning big games.
Well, and that's the thing, and also his shot selection, all right? He's obviously scoring, but you got to watch his shot selection because that's what drove Ken Bone crazy in the past.
And fans.
That's right. So if his shot selection continues to be solid and he continues making them, yes, but if he goes back to the old Faisal, then we could be in trouble. Okay, the biggest one here for you, I know
yes.
What a fan you are of this, the Oscars, the nominees have been announced. Brad Pitt is up for Best Actor for Moneyball. Does he deserve to win?
He might deserve to win. He's not going to win. He did a great job, I think, and they did a good job of making Billy Beane a personable character in the movie Moneyball. Brad Pitt did an excellent job. And I like to see sports movies get nominated for Oscars, but George Clooney's going to win it for The Descendants, flat out. He was remarkable in that movie. It's a good movie. It's not your typical Hollywood movie. There's not a lot of action, no explosions, things like that. It's just a good flick, and he did a great job. What I like about it is Clooney and Pitt are pretty good friends. They get to go against each other for an Academy Award.
Well, yeah, and the Golden Globes, they were up against each other. And I'm not a big George Clooney fan. I just watched The Ides of March. I don't know. I think he gets a lot of credit for pretty much playing himself in movies. And I did not see
The Descendants.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I thought Brad Pitt did a great job. I'm a sports fan, obviously. And, I thought that he made a movie interesting I wasn't necessarily sure it could be. And you really felt the depth of the character. I really thought that you felt that Billy Beane had been a guy who flamed out early in his, his professional career and was really just trying to prove himself on a different level as a winner. And you felt that with Brad Pitt. So because of that feeling, Keith, I'm saying give it to him. And I haven't seen some of the other movies that have been nominated, but I'm saying give it to him, not George Clooney, because George Clooney also, Stacy Keibler, come on, dude. The guy gets everything. Everything. All right? Give Brad Pitt the Oscar.
Next week on Face Off, maybe we'll talk about who's better looking, Brad Pitt or Tom Brady, because that's a pretty good matchup right now. So.
We know who wouldn't win that.
Secret option number 3.
That's
Never
right.
know. Secret option number 3. See you next week on Face Off Radio versus TV.
I wouldn't win either.